Hey everybody, this is day 50. I'm Ryan Huggard. I'm going to do something a little bit different today. I did my T25 workout this morning. That went good. Didn't work out with Cody today. He's hurt his knee, so I'm trying to keep him from injuring that further. Right now I'm getting ready for my show tomorrow. We go on 7:30 tomorrow evening at the Orpheum, opening for Sevendust. Hey, if you haven't gotten tickets, I got 4 left. I'll have them all the way up until 4 o'clock tomorrow. So let me know. Anyway, I'm going to give you a quick gear rundown of what I got going on because I'm getting it all packed up and ready to go for tomorrow. So here we go. Alright, so this is my 1000 watt Ampeg head with parametric EQ on it, a Rain parametric EQ. And then I've got this Hartkey 410 cabinet. It'll handle 1000 watts on its own. I've got a second one of those at the jam space that I'll pair with this, and that way I'll be running the full 1000 watts of that bad boy right there. Pretty great amp. Haven't had any problems with it. I'll show you what I got going on inside. So I've put LEDs on the inside. And the cool thing about the LEDs, check this out. On stage it's really hard to see. So with the LEDs in there, I can see all my hookups. And the sound guys can plug right into my direct out and run me through the big sound system. So then I put the covers front and the back onto my road case. Check this out. That right there is the remote control for my lights, so I can change those LEDs to any color I want. Dim them, make them flash, do whatever, but I leave them on dim and no flashy, because I'm the one flashing on stage. Well, not flashing, but you get it. Maybe. Alright, so those are ready to go. And then my extension cord I'll wrap up. And I've gone to Velcro to wrap all of my wires now. All of my cords, all of my wires. Because the hardest thing to do in a show, when you're trying to load on the stage, is sort wires. And so the more organized I keep all this, the easier it is in that very stressful situation. So there's that. Check this out. Let's go check out my wire bag. Alright, this is the bag with my wires. Got the inputs between my amplifier and my speaker cabinet, and then my strap that has the wireless on it, so I don't have to be tethered to my amplifier. One of the coolest things ever is to not be wired to my amplifier. Nothing's gone wrong with it yet. Hopefully it never does, but I have a long guitar cable just in case that ever fails on me. Alright, so I have 2 bass guitars that I use on stage. One of them is this 4-string. This is a LTD B304 FM, and the FM stands for flame maple. I don't know if you can see that. Let's see here. But the top, there it is a flame maple black, and this thing's a pretty nice bass. I am very fortunate. Dustin, the guy that I've got the bet with, he's the guitar player, and this is his band. And his brother-in-law was listening to me play back when I was brand new as a bassist, and he had this bass and he gave it to me for my birthday because he figured I needed a much better bass than I had with what I was going to be doing. So thank you, Jared. Love this bass, dude. So this is the back of that 4-string bass, and you see that battery there. I'm going to replace that. This is an active electronics bass, so it uses a 9-volt battery. And when that battery dies all of a sudden, the instrument no longer makes sound. And luckily it's never happened on stage, but it's happened a couple of times at practice where everything goes quiet and you sit there and wonder what the hell happened. And that one battery right there can make all the difference. So I changed both batteries I changed the battery in both of my basses. Alright, so the battery's changed, and the next thing I'm going to do is I take Dr. Duck's Axe Wax and String Lube, and I rub my strings down real good with this. So watch this. Ooh, that's a hot angle right there. So I put this on my strings, and what that does is on stage, when I am going 150 miles an hour and my hands are sweating, the string lube helps keep my strings somewhat slippery so I don't get stuck on my fretboard. My first couple of shows, my fingers were really sweaty, and it was like trying to pull my hands through a vat of lard. It was nasty. So that Axe Wax and String Lube does the trick here. And then I just wipe it off, try to get my frets nice and my fretboard so I don't have a lot of extra on it. And then I'll wipe the whole guitar down, remove all the hair that has come off the bed onto it from Titan, and all of my fingerprints that I may have on it. So I'll be right back. So several reasons I clean my guitars. I don't do it all the time, but I do occasionally, and definitely before a show. First of all, the lights blaring down on us are super bright. So anything that I've got on my guitar, pretty much everybody's going to see. And I really dig my guitars. And of course I take a lot of pride in what I do up on stage. And I just feel like I don't need anything up there detracting from what we're doing as a band. And besides, this thing's fucking sexy. Not as sexy as Heidi is, of course, but pretty sexy. I really dig my basses. And I like them to look like it. Man, isn't that nice? Yeah. Alright, this is my 5-string. This is another LTD. It's a B415 FM. Ooh, yeah, check that out. Ooh, If I do say so myself, this thing is beautiful. So this is my first brand new bass that I ever bought. And I really like this bass. This is a good one. This is another active electronics, so I got to change the battery in it. I'm going to put the string lube on this. Going to get it all shined up and ready to go for tomorrow. I'd normally do this just before I left for the show, but I won't be home tomorrow to get everything ready. So. Both of my younger kids, Morgan and Kai, are practicing on their recorders right now. And as soon as I'm done with this video, they want to play me a song. I can't wait. So this bass guitar I've had now for a couple of years. And I just had it professionally set up. Dustin Lathan, you know, my guitar buddy that I talked about, the guy that I'm in his band, actually sets up guitars, does fretboard leveling and fret shaping and all that. I don't even know half of what I'm talking about here, but he takes care of this whole thing and makes it nice and level and smooth. Thanks, Dustin. Alright, that's my gear. That's everything ready to go. I'm going to pack that into the truck and be all ready for tomorrow. Quick story. This one, speaking of no sound on stage, I used to run a different kind of amp than I've got now. And I actually went through 3 different amplifiers of the same manufacturer, and I had problems where they'd overheat and shut down. And Dustin and I had rigged fans in my case to keep air blowing, to try to keep everything cool, and we were on stage, and 2 songs away from the end my amplifier quit working. So you can imagine the bass guitar guy up there and no sound coming out of his system, and the fans had actually worked, but my bass had rattled the fan plug off and had turned the fans off. Didn't realize it until after the show, but that prompted me to get a more expensive amplifier from a manufacturer that's good at what they do. So I don't have that problem anymore. All my gear works really well, and that's about it. Thank you all for being here and listening to me ramble on about my gear. If you happen to make it to the Orpheum tomorrow night, we go on about 7:30. Doors open at 7. So check us out. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's a great show. Take care. Bye.